Did you watch Ghost Adventures?
I haven't seen all of them, but like I like watching them.
I like when they get the audio that they think is a ghost, and it's just like, and they're like, "Did you hear it say kill, kill, die, kill, die?"
Everybody, come on, it's time to listen. Get together, the show's about to begin. Bring your friends and your cows and all your chickens. Here we go again. Time to laugh and maybe even learn something. Oh, who am I kidding? You're not gonna laugh. Either way, it's time to get started with the Sundial Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to... I think we start every podcast like
with
that.
Hello, like, hey.
I go, hello, and you go, hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. It's consistency. People like consistency.
Yeah. Anyways.
Anyway.
This is the 5th episode.
Number 5.
Of the Sundial Podcast 2.0.
Yeah. You wanna introduce yourself, or do you want to keep stalling at that part?
I don't know why I hate it so much.
You hate it?
I hate saying my own name. You introduce me, I'll introduce you.
Okay, so she is the second most important Editor-in-Chief.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is slowly becoming, like I've said, every single podcast, this is slowly becoming my morning DJ show. It is currently 4:30 in the morning when we are recording this.
Wait, but am I second most important in the Sundial, or am I the second most important Editor-in-Chief? Like, in the history of Editor-in-Chiefs?
Yes, R.L. Stein is the most important Editor-in-Chief.
Yes. Well, I don't think he was Editor-in-Chief, I just know he was an editor.
We'll let people fact check later.
Yeah, everyone, someone go research that.
Do you know Bobby Flay is actually the son
of Paula Dean?
No, R.L. Stein.
R.L. Stein, yeah. We haven't said our names yet.
No. So that's Lauren Moliterno. She's the Editor-in-Chief of the Sundial, current Editor-in-Chief.
Yes. And this is James Wagner, least important member of the Sundial.
I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave this podcast. I'm going to leave this morning radio show. I can just go back to sleep. It's 4:30 in the morning.
That is true. I don't know why we did this.
Because it's a radio show.
No, he's second most important webmaster, because technically I am the webmaster now.
Whoa, that was a power grab and a half.
Power move.
All
right. Well, we are here today with 2 lovely staff members of the Sundial.
You want to introduce them, or do you just want to say that? We're not going to ever act... No, let's not introduce them.
They're never going to talk.
They're never going to talk. This is going to be a very condescending podcast.
We just wanted to bring them here to talk.
We just like the fact that people are watching this. We know people are listening, but we want it physically.
We want people to watch, because, once again, this is not a visual podcast.
No. We have a live studio audience of 2 people.
But anyways, we have Mary Lavelle.
What up?
And Jenny... No, what?
Jenny...
I'm leaving!
I was too concentrated on pronouncing your last name right that I fucked up the first one. Janie. Janie Beauford.
It is 4:30 in the morning. So mistakes...
4:30. It's okay.
Mistakes are allowed.
It's like every podcast, I have to mispronounce one of my friends' names. Every time.
Question about, is RG's name Archie?
No, it's RG, like Richard Glenn.
Okay.
That's his actual name. Sorry to bring out that information, RG, if you want to keep that secret.
We can edit that out if you want.
No, we're keeping it in. The information has been leaked.
But
I heard someone say Archie.
Because he decided
this year decided
that
to go by Archie.
In all seriousness?
So should I be calling him Archie?
Well,
no.
That's just what his Twitter name is. So
what he says is that he switched it up so that he'll know when he met someone.
Wow.
So, like, if they call him RG, he knows that they met him his freshman year. And if they say Archie, then he knows that they met him.
Well, he's also doing it in terms of professionalism.
He wants,
for video stuff, or when he writes for like when he's credited in the Sundial, he wants to be as Archie, because that's a much more professional name than RG.
Yeah, he said he wanted his online presence to be Archie.
Stein?
Ooh.
See, like,
the most important Editor-in-Chief of the Sundial.
He's not Archie to me. I can call him that as a joke, but I can't. He is RG to me, so sorry RG, but on the Sundial you are RG and not Archie.
I thought it was the other way around, that his real name was Archie, and he went, that sounds like RG.
Oh, no.
No, it's like the exact opposite.
Yeah.
But like for like the longest time, like I would accidentally call him RJ, like before like knowing him really well, like first couple weeks, and then now it's like the name RJ sounds so...
Yeah, it sounds
wrong.
So off as a thing. Well, when he introduced him, I think the first meeting he introduced himself as RG, and then my sister was like, is his name Archie or Archie? I'm like, it's Archie. And then he started calling
And then he
himself
started going by
Archie.
Archie.
Because I think he was like, I like being called Archie. That'd be a fun thing.
Well,
Yeah.
anyways, I think we talk about Archie in every podcast.
So far, yeah. Let's, for those who's keeping the
Keeping track.
Archie tally, I know the viewers at home, the viewers with their ears, yeah. That's what we like to call our fans, the viewers, because it's a joke.
Because they can't see us,
they
because
can't
it's not
see
a visual podcast.
No.
We like to remind you guys so you can't see us.
No, you can't see us.
But we can see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see you. We see you.
Hey, put that down.
Yeah, stop it. Hey, your mom knows about that. Yeah, it's a great. Who's the guy who listens through tags? It's been so long since we recorded.
Oh no.
Roger.
Roger.
We can see you, Roger.
We almost didn't make it in the last one. It was
We
it was like the wrap up. We were
It
like,
was a
oh hey
wrap-up.
Roger.
Roger, if you're there, which I know you are because we can see you. Roger, you're sitting there in your lonely apartment, all by yourself with your lizard, Charlie. Charlie the lizard. You, Charlie. I can see you, Charlie, and I can see you, Roger. I know you
No,
guys.
Charlie, it's okay.
Charlie,
We're
no,
not gonna hurt
no,
you, Charlie.
don't hide. Oh, you look so cute when you hide, though, so keep hiding. But Roger, this is more to you. Stop it. I know what you're doing. I know what you've always been doing. You can't hide it forever. I know you have that library book that you checked out in 3rd grade and never returned. I know your secret, Roger. I know it. I know the 3rd book in the series of unfortunate events is so great. It's the best part of the series of unfortunate events. But you got to return it, Roger. We all know your secret now. Just like Archie's name being leaked, we've leaked this information. I know this will stop your chance of being elected, but leaks happen, Roger. Okay, Charlie, you can come back out. There we go.
That was
a,
like the end of the
Wow.
Truman Show, where
Yeah.
it's
like, I am your guy.
free. Like,
You are free to do what you want. Oh, you're leaving? Oh, no.
I like that it had the same cadence as the speech from Taken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I will find you, Roger, and I will get back the 3rd part of the series of unfortunate events, which I cannot remember for my life of me.
I don't remember.
I didn't read the book.
All I know is
think
it's
I read
an
the first
alliteration.
book for AR points.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, can we talk about AR points for a hot second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Did everybody in this room do
I
AR
did.
points?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that like in Ohio?
Celebrated reader.
Yeah.
For those
I-
unaware.
I always. I'm an English major who hates reading. I don't know if we've talked about that yet. But I would always watch the movies and then try and take the quizzes, and I would always fail.
That's what my
I
friends
wonder
would do.
why.
But they would always pass.
I remember it taking
Well-
me a whole day to read Camp Jansen, and like that's like a 60-page. It's like a pamphlet, if anything. And I'm like, wow, that's sad. It's like
See,
60 pages.
I just remember the one quiz I failed after watching the movie instead of reading it was Old Yeller. I don't know why. I just could not figure that quiz out.
I remember in 4th grade. 4th grade was my AR dream year. That's when I peaked in terms of reading.
Because it was
Just
like
in
it
general.
was the last chance, right?
Yeah. No. We went to 5th
yeah.
grade.
We only went to 4th.
That's right. And a fact that we all knew. And so that's when I read Series of Unfortunate Events, and each of those books were like 10 or
my
11
God.
points, and they weren't at the highest. I mean, they were a kid's book, and so I would read one at least once a week and just stack up AR points. And it was the only that semester was the only time I was in the top 10. I was 4. And it was just because I read the entire series of unfortunate events.
I remember my brother was number 2 in the whole school the one time, which is weird because
Because he's an idiot.
he's an idiot.
Shout out to Tyler Moliterno.
No.
Second favorite Moliterno. You want to hear the list? Here it goes. Larry Moliterno, favorite Moliterno. Then Tyler Moliterno, second favorite Moliterno. Then third, Lauren Moliterno.
I finally
and it's
made the
because
list.
I can never remember her mom's name.
Just
You wanna
Mrs.
guess?
Mount.
No, we're not guessing names on this podcast. We've made
We've
that
done that
mistake
before.
before.
It will never be.
There's a version basically of this podcast that was recorded last year, and it was myself, Lauren, and our former editor-in-chief, Ivy, and it was called Sundial Staff Infection. It was just going to be staff members. And we wanted to do a weekly thing, and then the first podcast, we're like, we don't need a topic, we can just riff forever. And
we did.
And we did, but in that riffing, we just guessed each other's
siblings
names for a solid 5 minutes.
Oh, I think it was longer.
It was
felt
longer.
forever.
And then we guessed middle names
Yeah.
Of the siblings?
of the siblings and each other. So, speaking of not having a topic, let's go into a question I actually had for Janie.
Oh, cool.
So, Janie, you're one of the few people on the Sundial, and I'm part of the problem that is in a hard science.
True.
And by hard, obviously, it's a classification, not an actual, you're the only one. You, Harish, Ryan Wires, the person who edits this podcast, are all, I think that's it at this point. Because I used to be physics and computer science, so I used to be in that group, and now I'm film
RG
studies.
went from neuroscience to psychology.
Yeah, so he jumped back to the softer sciences. Yeah, because the brain's soft and squishy.
Yeah.
Unlike biology, which has a lot of hard material, a lot of dense things. So So how does comedy inform kind of the switching over between the two?
Wait, what do you mean?
So people a lot of times think that people who are in the hard sciences are very focused on intellectualism,
Okay.
stuff like that. I'm sure you know people who are just hardcore, quote unquote, I'm doing air quotes, intellectuals. So how does that translate into comedy, which a lot of us are very smart, but we don't act like intellectuals.
I kind of like it because I feel like a lot of what I tend to write is almost a parody of either technical documents or scientific things. I write a lot of fake abstracts, and it almost feels like when you're surrounded by things that aren't inherently comedic, then it's almost easier to find a comedic angle into it.
Oh,
if that makes sense. So I have a hard time writing a lab report without also writing a separate fake one.
Because you want to put it in the real one.
Yeah.
You want to put all those jokes that you have about the lab, the actual process of the lab, right into the lab.
Yeah. So, I don't know. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to do a hard science, but I like school a lot, and I like taking exams.
Yeah.
I'm making myself very unrelatable
right now.
Roger.
She is sitting in the tallest possible chair.
I'm wearing a lab coat right now.
And just a lab coat.
Yeah, and I brought several beakers.
Yeah.
Lauren told me to put them away because they kept clanging against each other. And she's like, it's messing with the audio. That's also how she speaks.
Yeah, Lauren does a voice filter for this podcast.
Yeah.
To make it less deep and raspy.
Yeah. Those are the two words I would use to describe Lauren.
Deep and raspy.
Deep and raspy. When they ask you in job interviews, what are your greatest strengths?
It's deep and raspy.
Deep and raspy.
And they're like, you're hired.
Just in general, not even just my voice.
Did you say deep and raspberry? Well, you're hired at this ice cream company.
Yeah. Actually, someone contacted the Sundial earlier this summer. I think it was kind of recently, asking us about they were trying to write this thing for a national magazine or something, and they asked they were asking different editor-in-chiefs of humor magazines about why comedy is important to a college student, and I wrote a lot about. I was for being a humor magazine, we have a considerable amount of people who don't have any connection to that with their major.
Mm-hmm. We don't have too many majors.
We have a few. It's not the majority.
No.
We have Adam who went from
engineering. He's part of the problem.
Engineering to English, but not. It's not the majority, which is one would think. And I wrote this whole. He probably only wanted one statement.
Just
but I wrote 3 paragraphs.
Because you're an English major.
Because I'm an English major, and I like talking about comedy and why it's important. But I wrote about I was we have a lot of members who study these pretty difficult majors, and it's a way to release stress.
Yeah.
And that's important in college.
Yeah, I remember when I would be doing software, when I was in my software classes, we'd have these huge projects that were just, I would code for 4 or 5 hours straight, and by the time you hit the 4th hour, all of my comments on code, when you code, you're supposed to do comments, so that way when you read it back, it's much easier to know what you were actually doing. And so I would always have jokes, and I always have, when it got to me just fixing stuff, I'd always make variables have joke names and stuff like that, where it's a lot of variables were stupid, dumb variable that fixes stuff.
My engineering TAs told me I had to stop naming my variables after people in the engineering class. They were you can't, they were this variable that says Tom, like Levenstein, that carries no information about the velocity of this plane. And I was like, well, I get it. And they're like, yeah, but the point of like the comments and the variable names are so other people.
Tom.
It's like, but Tom is great at counting velocity.
Yeah.
Mary,
So-
what's your major?
Business and marketing. So I'm just one of those people who are like, you know what, I'll find a job somewhere.
Actually, it's a pretty
Someone will hire me.
ethical, but that's not
Yeah.
necessarily a real comedy.
Yeah, that's
Thing.
still
Well, like
that-
I want to go into like creative advertising, so I definitely
Yeah, it
like,
definitely helps.
But yeah, like at least the classes I have to take aren't all that fun. With like, 'cause
No.
it's just a generic business degree, but like
So
other
you take,
places like accounting, financing,
Yeah.
like
Like shifting
so
from
that's like this is miserable.
shifting from being a computer science major to being film studies major is an incredible shift in class titles. Where as a computer science major, it was foundations, software, architecture, AI development, stuff like that. And then into like film studies, it's like women in Hollywood. And like a lot of classes are just like titles of stuff like serial television or criticizing television, like stuff
Yeah.
like that, where it's all these like fancy title names, and it's a lot more fun because it's not, instead of just being like computers, it's, which you can tell computer scientists named all the computer courses and film studies majors named all the film
Yeah.
courses.
Yeah.
Because they're so much more artsy. But it's a lot of fun.
Artsy.
Artsy.
Yeah, I just went from education to English. I didn't have too far of a jump.
No.
Also, I never took I took one maybe education class, but I dropped it. So I've taken no education classes.
Nice.
Like, I went into my advisor, and they were like, you want to be an English major, right? And I'm like, well, I was like, because you've only taken English classes.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, just switch me.
Okay,
This is
interesting
pointless.
question for the group. What is
Shoot.
the easiest class you've taken at Ohio State?
Oh, I have a good one. It was like I don't know what section it was, but it was human development and family sciences. And I mean, she didn't really take attendance other than like a couple of times at the end of class she'd ask a question and you just have to write a free response, which you didn't have to do anything educational. It was just an opinion-based question. But the exams were all they were all multiple choice, but you got a sheet of notes that could be typed with no limits. So like I basically could just do like 10-point font of my entire notes on a sheet of paper, so I did not have to study. So like
Oh, man.
yeah, like if I had an exam the next day, I was like, okay, let me just squish these notes into one page and call it a day.
That's crazy. That's every once in a while you get a class kind of like that where it's
It is so
like
nice.
it's just such a it should be a difficult class, but it's not. Like I think the easiest one I ever took was with the man, the myth, the legend, Scott Spears, and he what he does before an exam is he'll literally hold the exam, go through, and be like, all right, and this is for criticizing television, and he was like, what does the FCC stand for? Federal Communications Commission or something, like whatever it was. Obviously that class didn't stick, but probably because he read the answers for the exam, and so I just had a notebook of like a page and a half of just the question and the answer. And so the 5 minutes before the class, I just went through, read all of them, 100% left after 5 minutes. It was so easy.
I had a theater class once where the professor, in order to teach us about different types of theater, would show us clips from movies. And for farce, he started this Matthew Perry movie from like the late 90s probably that was not like a critically acclaimed, like it was not
it's
a
Matthew
good,
Perry.
Yeah, it was not like a good movie, and he was like, we're just gonna watch the beginning, but then he got so into it that we watched the whole thing, and it took 3 or 4 class periods.
Oh,
I thought this
yeah.
was just like a one class, like, oh, sorry, I just got really into the movie. We'll pick up next time.
No,
You
he
watched the
carried
entire-
over. He was like, we'll finish this up next time. I'd like to see where this goes. And we were like, so clearly you didn't watch it before you showed it to us. And then you got so invested that you shifted the syllabus so that we could finish it. And then he started bringing in chocolate, and he was like, this is great. So that was a pretty easy one. And
Seems
then,
pretty nice. I took the Intro to Theater at Ohio State for GE, and that class is 3 credit hours, but it is if you do everything that they tell you to do for that class, it is an insane amount of work for 3 credit hour. For a 3 credit hour GE,
Oh, man.
there are 4 classes a week,
4.
Yes, because there are 2 lectures and 2 recitations.
Mm.
And recitations are attendance, so you have to be at all the recitations. There's probably an assignment like per week that you have to do, like a legitimate assignment per week. There are quizzes about once every other week, and then there are papers on plays that you have to read every single week. And then also like regular like exam stuff that you have to go to. And you had to go to 3 performances that Ohio State was doing. And it was just like a crazy amount of work, and I didn't go to a single one of the lectures. Because it was just like because I've done theater before. And
In
so,
high school?
In high school, particularly, yeah. And so I knew like all the terms, and so I was like, I'm not gonna go to this lecture, and so I just slept in instead. And so I know people that went to that class every single day and like eked out a B or a C in that class because there's just so much work you had to do. And so I tell people, take it. Like it covers the performance art GE and the social diversity GE. So it's a nice double. So I feel like they personally feel like, oh, we're doing 2 things, so we can make this class extra work. Ugh. It was awful.
If a GE that's not towards my major is any bit work, like I will drop it. Like I had last semester, like I was trying to fulfill one of my sciences, and it was like syllabus day. So I thought, okay, run through the syllabus, we'll be fine. But like this 70-year-old like man comes in, he's the professor, and like I was falling asleep within like the first minute, and like the syllabus is like 5 pages long, and he's going through like every bullet point, every date, and I'm just like, I gotta drop this class, like. And he was so like pale and white, like I just in my head I was just.
Are you sure he wasn't just a ghost?
I called him Professor Death in my head. So like, I don't know, but I
it's
won't.
pronounced Professor D.
Yeah,
Do you think they show him to Ohio State tour groups to show that Ohio State is haunted?
I don't know. I'm like, is he still around? But I dropped as soon as I got back.
And there's Professor D.
Like, Ohio University is not the only haunted Ohio school.
Yeah, like he's a ghost. He's like, I'm still here.
It's just his office hours.
It's like I haven't got my severance package yet.
Yeah.
I'm just going to retirement.
Like, I have tenure.
Ooh, that's the scariest thing.
You can't get rid of me.
Yeah, exactly. He'll be here forever. Really, forever.
Yeah,
Forever.
Ooh,
He's
forever.
Forever, ever seems that long.
I don't know. I was just sitting here listening to you guys talk, and I still cannot think of an easy class I
A
took.
single easy class.
Well, it's not like my class. Like a lot of the classes that I take aren't necessarily hard, but they're not like, oh, that was easy.
Like specifically, like that was.
Yeah. So.
I think I just got lucky. Like I was just like, okay,
Yeah,
I'll take this. I'm like, oh
Like
yeah.
I feel like I've gotten pretty lucky with just generally like picking classes. Like when you would pick like your first English class, and it was just like all of these possible things that you basically randomly got into.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'd show up and like I got into films about high school. And so, like, we watched Easy A, we watched Fast Times at Ridgemont High, we watched Mean Girls,
Wait,
we watched all these
that?
films. And then I was telling my roommates, like, yeah, we're going to watch all these high school films. Like, I'm in, like, what was it? It was science fiction from the 50s. And he had to read all these obscure science fiction books from the 50s and write papers about them.
Everyone takes a really fun second-year writing class. Like, that's the criticizing TV.
Yeah.
I was in, like, American Immigration, not integration. Immigration.
I wouldn't complain about that one too much, Lauren.
It was
integration is awful.
No, it was immigration. And then, but, like, we were able to write about, or our last essay was, like way free range. Like we just do whatever we want. And I literally just wrote a creative story about like my own ancestors.
That's nice.
So it worked. But
my
I realized my easiest class was the stand-up class that I took.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You took a stand-up class?
Yeah, it was like it wasn't
Wasn't
writing.
that freshman year seminar?
No.
I took that. That was actually the easiest class.
It was.
Oh yeah, freshman year survey.
It was it was like a intro or pop culture studies or something like that, and like the special topic was stand up, but I don't think it counted for anything, and I think it's just like an elective.
Yeah. I had a few of those, which actually it's funny because I took some just non-associated electives. I don't know why I forgot the word elective in film studies, which actually has come back to be like, oh, I could actually use this. Yeah. Like I took a writing for television, which I made 2 pilots for, and so I was just like, well, that was a fun class. Maybe I'll do that in the future, like as a career. And now it's like, oh, hey, that contributed to my upper level electives.
Because you need like a certain amount of electives.
Yeah, and it's crazy how every once in a while you'll accidentally take something that'll work. And so now my because I was a physics major, my physical lab for my just general education is honors physics. Like I have the hardest possible. Like I'm sure everybody else is in film studies took like geography in a lab. I took honors physics. I took a 5-credit hour honors.
My
physics
lab was
class.
earth science, and I barely passed.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
So that just tells you that.
Mine was like anthropology, and there was like one class where we just like counted beans. And it was like, all genetics.
All we did was look at rocks. That's all we did, and I almost did not pass. I got. I'll just like I had the midterm and the final.
That's a killer.
Doubled my score from the midterm on the final. I got twice as much on the final than I did on the midterm. And
you tell us what you got on the final?
I still got a D on the final.
Oh
just to let you know. It's not like it was like, oh, I got like a 50%
like
and 100% on the A. No, I like failed both hard. And it was only because of the lab that I passed that class. Because I just rocks, man.
I have an embarrassing story about when you mentioned pop culture studies. I don't know if this is the class you took. Did the class that you took require that you read Judd Apatow's book about...
Yeah.
Okay, so...
I actually mentioned that class on the first podcast. I said my textbook was Judd Apatow's book.
I went to SVX to go get some neuroscience textbook, and I saw that textbook was required for some class, and I was like, what is this class? And I looked through and I was like, what a cool book. So I bought it for myself. I don't know if they ordered the exact number of like people in that class, but I bought one for myself, and I was like, I should have bought my actual
See, I bought mine off Amazon, so we're good. So we canceled each other out.
And then I felt bad about buying it for myself, so to make myself feel better, I wrote inside the cover, Janie, your tops. Janie.
Wait, so they would see an autograph towards the person? An autograph?
Yeah, I autographed it for myself. I don't know why I thought it would make me feel better, but I was like, I took like some kid's book, and I was like, but I actually want to read this book. And then I was like, well, I would feel better if it were like personalized. Like, you know how like something is like more important
like it's
to you.
yours?
Yeah, if like someone signs it for you, but I wasn't gonna like make one of my roommates be like, sign this for me so I feel better. So,
then you did it yourself.
Yeah, so I was like, I'll sign it myself. I was like, but that just looks like I'm writing my name in it in case I lose it. So I wrote to Janie, and then I don't know why I picked your tops.
Yeah, that was gonna be my question.
New Yorker from the 40s.
I became a New Yorker from the 40s, and then I signed it.
And you're like, it was like you were signing a beautiful young lady to a movie deal.
Yeah. The other thing I just noticed. Do you know how Spotify at the end of the year will show you like your top played songs? One time, my top played song was this old song from the 40s that was like the most stereotypical song from the 40s. They're like, meet me down by the dock. You know how they sound like that?
Mm-hmm.
And,
a lot of dock talk in the 40s.
And then like the second one was probably, I think it might have been Gold Digger by Kanye West. I was like, what a weird...
You're an interesting person.
Interesting combination of docks and digging.
Docks and digging.
When I was in... This is more related to the classroom setting. But no, we're good. Because it's about somebody else that I was like, how do you even function? And not as an insult to Janie, but how do you even function with your self-signed book and listening to a mix of Otis Redding and Kanye. But we were in that first class, the high school and film.
Yeah.
And that was the first year English class. So part of it was analysis. That's a big part of that class. And we started by looking at advertisement and like analyzing it. And then we went to famous photos because that's kind of a step down, but it's still, there's a lot of subtext in very famous photos. And so we looked at like the burning monk and the people kissing after V-Day. And then we looked at Tiananmen Square. And that's the one with the tanks and the lone person standing in front of them. Very powerful image. If you haven't seen it, Google it. And then also, how are you a person? Tweet at us. I have not seen hashtag I have not seen Tiananmen Square at the Sundial.
Spell it.
Hashtag ATTHE
Nope.
Tiananmen SQUARE. Do that one. However you feel like spelling it. But anyways, I'm not the idiot in this story, as you will soon find out.
Go ahead.
And so she's like, what do you analyze from this photo? So it's like, this man is alone, he's standing up to something, this is very powerful, he might have come off of something. She's like, really stretched. She's like, oh, he's in a suit, so he might have just gotten caught up in the moment and really used his emotions. And so we're kind of done, and she's like, is there anything else that you have? And usually when a teacher says that, it's like, okay, yeah, she just wants to make sure she gets all the opinions out, and then she's just going to move on. And a girl raises her hand, and she's like, in the photo, the guy has kind of curly hair. Maybe he's Jewish?
Oh.
And there was like a silence, and we're like, what? And she's like, ooh, maybe. All right, any other questions?
Let's not infer.
It took all I had inside of myself to not just laugh and immediately ask questions of, wait, what?
Like, are you serious?
Are you serious think? Are you serious
Are
think?
you serious thing? Hashtag.
Tweet at us. Are you serious think? At the Sundial OSU. But yeah, how dumb is that? It blows my mind that somebody could be like, maybe he's Jewish.
Because we're talking about dumb classmates right now.
Mhm.
The one time I was in like a writing fiction class, and I wrote like a story, and it was like a fiction, but it was like very, very heavily influenced by my own life. And two things. I got two different feedbacks that is very memorable. The one, because it was about like this clumsy girl, which, hey, and like the one scene.
Lauren just fell down right after
I fell down, right? We had to cut it out.
8 flights of stairs.
But there was like a scene where the girl was walking and walked into a wall instead of turning a corner. And the one guy wrote a full paragraph about how that's not related, like it's too false because like that would never happen to a person, and that literally happened to me. And I was like, okay, yeah. And then like the other one, which was my favorite it's not a compliment. My favorite comment I've ever gotten was, quote, I thought this was funny, but I didn't think it was on purpose.
Oh my goodness.
And I was just like...
The Lauren Moliterno story.
The Lauren Moliterno story. That and mistakes were made.
And then like the title is, what was it? I literally forgot what you just said.
I thought this was funny, but not on purpose.
It was funny, but not on purpose. The Lauren Moliterno story. And then on the back cover, the quotes are deep and raspy. The USA Times. I thought you were going to tell the story about the girl in your class that didn't know you had to capitalize the letter I.
Oh my god, that's a whole
not real.
other thing. Yeah. We were, like, this girl made it into college, and she wrote this whole, it was like it was fiction, I think. I think that class was like all 3 or whatever, so it was fiction. And it was all about like this guy looking in a mirror, and like, it was like really kind of narcissistic. And so we were like, when we were workshopping it, we were like trying to be like, so you didn't capitalize the I for like, maybe it's like to show maybe he's not as important as he thinks he is. Like we were trying to like come up with all of these like crazy inferences, and she's like, no, I just didn't know that was a rule. And we were like, what? Like, even Microsoft Word corrects you. What were you typing on?
How much effort it took to
She probably was
backspace
like, why
every
does
time.
this keep happening?
And so when you complained, like, Word is terrible at, like, grammar stuff, she's like, I know!
Me too.
It always corrects completely correct words.
And literally, like, we just sat there and looked at each other for a couple seconds. We were like, yes, it's a rule. It's a rule.
It's a rule.
You should know that one.
It's one of the first rules of grammar
I don't-
you learn.
And she was in college, so that's... At least I think maybe she just showed up.
Showed up.
And my teacher was just like, felt too bad to like tell her to leave. So
And
it's
she's like,
just
oh,
do this.
she doesn't even use I correctly. We gotta teach her
We
something.
gotta teach her
But I'm
something.
not gonna tell her. We're gonna let her slowly learn.
But like, since it was a creative writing class, we all were trying to make sense out of it instead of
Yeah,
just being like
what's the
correcting
deeper
it.
meaning? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
Mary, why don't you tell the story? You haven't talked much.
oh man, I don't want to.
How? Okay, let's.
Yeah, I was like, I can't just
Well,
Tell
we'll
us
come up with
story.
a
Tell
Tell a
Mary.
story.
Make it really good.
Well,
Yeah.
an interesting question that I think we talked about on the first podcast, but I think it's interesting to hear everyone's like opinions, even though I did berate Elijah for trying to ask it. But like, how do you come up with like your when you go to write something, like brainstorming aspects, or I mean, this can be for Janie too.
I'm trying to think. I feel like sometimes, like, I feel like it's just like one of those things where, like, it's more like it just pops in my head. Because
Right.
sometimes when I go to brainstorm, suddenly I'm just like, I have nothing. So it's
Yeah.
almost just
I'm
like,
not good at that either.
yeah, like, I can't think of anything, or I'm like, I feel like I haven't really submitted all that much, but yeah, I don't know. I just feel like stupid stuff in like everyday life. I'm drawing like a blank. I suck at answering questions. Like my brother, like when I was growing up, would always ask me hypothetical questions, and it's like the dumbest stuff. Like he'd always ask like if you were given the most brave like award, which I don't know why he'd be like, what
The
would your
most
speech
brave
be?
award?
Yeah, like the bravest person
Is the award itself brave?
It's just like it's just his question was always if you were given like the bravest person award, what would your speech be? And like since I was 10, I've been asked this question, and like every single time,
Why?
like
That's so.
What is your
it's
answer? Do you
improv
actually
game.
have an answer for that?
no, like there's no reason why I'm the bravest person, so I just am like,
There were, during that description, there were so many variants of that it was like you're giving out the bravest award,
No, like, I am
and then
being-
you have to
I
give a
get it.
speech for that.
I am getting the award, and I'm now like my acceptance speech. Like, what do I tell people?
That's so a strange thing to do.
Yeah,
I think Mary will be fun to play 10 out of 10, but
yeah.
like,
I wanted to
I wanna
play 10
do
out
it.
of 10, but since we've talked about
we'll let Janie answer first.
okay,
Yeah,
we
I
can-
didn't even give
Okay.
an answer.
Although she did already say that with the whole writing
Yeah, I think-
abstracts and reports and stuff.
Yeah, I also have a list on my phone of just things that I think are funny.
Yeah.
Like,
Whenever
Yeah.
whenever I think of a concept for something, I like have to write it down immediately.
Yeah.
Which sometimes I feel bad because it'll be like in a stand-up show, and then like they'll say something really,
Yeah.
oh my god, and I have to like pull out my
Yeah.
phone. I'm like, I'm not texting. I swear, I'm making a note.
yeah. Anytime I'm like at a funeral, I always feel bad.
Right.
I'm like, oh, I just thought of something so funny. And then they're just like, what is it? I'm like, I can't tell because we're at a funeral.
I had a cousin last year who went. Well, I went to a funeral last year. Okay,
Oh.
sadness averted. But like my cousin like wore like a bright pink polo shirt with like bright turquoise pants, and he thought nothing of it. Like we're like.
Oh.
Like he's like, I think he's like a junior in high school now. We're like, Kyle, a nice outfit. He's just like,
Don't wear that. I wasn't yelled at, but like the one guy at my grandma's funeral who's not related to us at all, he just was coming because he knew my dad, like made a comment to me about how I was laughing. And I was like, it's my grandma. Leave me alone.
He's like, but you were laughing. And you're like, true.
And he was like,
She's your grandma now.
it was almost like he felt like disrespected because I had laughed during the calling hours.
Yeah, it's a fun time. All right. Now that we're
it's
talking about
hilarious.
funerals,
We have to get out of here.
let's do,
10
hopefully,
out of 10.
A regular segment that Elijah ruined last week.
what
Yeah.
is it?
So 10 out of 10 is a
He
game.
was like, oh, I get it, and then destroyed it.
yeah,
He was like,
and
oh, I get
Like
it.
destroyed it was so good, or he
No.
no, he ruined the game.
We play
he
this
broke
game.
the game.
We play this game a lot in Backburner.
But it started
but
as
it's
a friend thing.
It's a friend thing. But
Which
we-
was also Backburner.
Yeah.
Aw.
How beautiful.
We'll give a moment of silence for friendships. Alright, so 10 out of 10 is a game where I describe the perfect
Or
person.
10 out of 10, but.
10 out of 10, but. So it's whoever you think
Yeah.
you want to live with.
You
I
don't-
know you guys are all looking at me, so it's definitely me. But just try to imagine somebody besides me. And it's a just like perfect
Someone that can
body.
be more
If you're into
perfect than
that.
James.
Yeah, somehow more perfect than me.
You don't
Who-
have to, like, tell us you're a
No.
perfect person.
Wait, what is this for? Perfect person
Yeah,
for
they're
what?
a perfect
For you. Like, you're-
Oh,
in marriage or whatever you
10
want.
out of 10.
Oh, okay.
So, like, whatever, like,
So they're-
work-wise, personality-wise, like, you guys are perfect match.
Perfect match. You just love each other so much.
Except there's one thing wrong with
There's
them.
one thing wrong with them, and it's been stuff like their hair is made out of peanut butter, or they have cups for hands.
Or as soon as they hear the term, park the car in Harvard Yard, they can only speak in a stereotypical Boston accent.
Yeah, just stuff like that.
And then the New York equivalent is, I'm walking here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, as soon as they hear that, they could be all Boston for a couple years. And then as soon as they hear I'm walking here, they transfer
My
into
friends
New
like
York.
witnessed that happen once. Like a
What?
car, they were like, my friend from Boston too witnessed
Oh,
it here.
whoa.
It
Can
was
I-
here. Like some guy was like walking across the crosswalk, and then a car
Walking
came,
there.
and he was like, "Hey, I'm walking here," and they were like, "It was the greatest
I was-
thing we've ever witnessed."
I was in like a Lyft or an Uber, I don't remember. Shout out to both? Question mark?
Yeah.
But we were like, I was driving and then
You were driving?
No.
What a weird.
Yeah, I called it.
Are you sure?
I called an
Are you
Uber
sure you weren't just
and I was
driving?
like, I got this. I know where I'm
Like, are
going.
you sure? It's like, am I still going to get paid? Like, yeah.
But he was like,
I'm just itching to get at the
he
throttle.
like stopped at a stop sign longer because like a taxi was coming the other way, and he was like, he was like, you didn't look like you were gonna stop, sir. Like he was talking to the taxi, and then he kept driving, and I jokingly was like, yeah, the yellow ones don't stop, and then there was just silence in the car, and I was like, oh, you didn't? Okay, sorry, it's from Elf. But anyways, back to 10 out of 10.
So 10 out of 10. So, and then at the end, I'll ask the question, and then you guys can ask any questions. Anything that I say about the person is canon, so that means it's what goes.
Yeah, it can't just be like you hear it and then you can answer. You have to.
Then you
answer
assume
immediately.
things.
We discuss it for a
We
while.
discuss it for a
yeah.
little bit.
I
and
was
then,
given the hand one.
Yeah, and then.
It really flipped on me.
Yeah. And then at the end, I'll cut off questions. No more questions. Anything answered is not actually part of the
Okay,
person,
yeah.
and then we'll get your guys' feedback. So let me think real quick. If you want to distract people while I think, that'd be great.
I don't.
Okay, sweet. So 10 out of 10, but they constantly complain that ketchup isn't a standard salad dressing.
I could live with that.
Wait, so they
Easily.
want to use
They
ketchup?
want to use ketchup as a standard salad dressing.
Wait, are
So
we
the-
allowed to question you or no?
I don't even need to question that.
totally allowed.
As long
So,
as I'm not forced to eat ketchup dressing.
but they,
But here's the backstory: is like my siblings always make fun of me because like one time when I was little, I asked for ketchup for dinner, and like I didn't eat the whole thing.
wait,
But
we're taking aside from this 10
Hold
out of
on,
10.
hold on. You wanted to eat ketchup for dinner?
Just ketchup?
just
Just
plain
ketchup?
ketchup. And so my mom was like, sure, because she knew like I wouldn't eat the whole thing, and like every single time they're like, you eat ketchup for dinner. I'm like, I ate like 2 bites.
It happened once.
It was one time.
One time.
So if I can accept my past, I can accept that
So
that's their
That might be a part of the 10 out of 10.
yeah, like
maybe that is
someone who
Mary's
finally
perfect
understands.
person.
Because
Yeah.
for some people, salad dressing is a large part of the salad. Like, people
Yeah.
douse their salad. So, this
Wait,
guy,
so like at home, like
at home, he
at
puts
home, he
ketchup
put-
on his salad. But, like, when you're out to an Olive Garden,
like he'll ask
Oh,
for
he'll
it.
or he'd be like,
request.
they're like, what dressings do you have? He'll always ask for the dressings. He won't just know they're not going to list ketchup. So he'll be like, oh, we have Italian, we have a ranch, we have a nice vinaigrette, and we have the house dressing. He's like, is the house dressing ketchup? And they're like,
No.
no. He's like, I
Does he
mean,
leave-
can I get ketchup for the salad? And then they're like, yes. Sometimes they refuse, depending on how fancy the restaurant is.
Yeah, 'cause some probably don't have it.
No.
Unless it's like
I think
homemade.
that one's
Yeah.
really easy though. Like you're not really that much.
But he's
affected.
gonna get-
How many
it's gonna-
times does he eat salad?
It's gonna ruin his meal. It's gonna ruin that evening because he's
Yeah,
just
if
gonna
he
be
doesn't
constantly
get-
You know what?
complaining.
Why doesn't he bring his own ketchup bottle to the restaurant?
No, he expects
That-
ketchup to be a standard
Okay.
salad dressing.
So he
See,
doesn't
like,
bring it.
I don't like condiments. They gross me out. So
Mhm.
that's my issue. Is I just
Mhm.
get grossed out. I don't know why. It's just like the texture of it. I don't know.
You know, a condiment.
I wouldn't be able to like watch him eat a salad with ketchup
Which
on
ketchup?
it.
And he just douses that salad with ketchup.
I don't. It would
Like you no longer see this lettuce. Like,
Yeah, it's
I
red.
would-
It's like he murdered the salad.
see. Like I wouldn't be able to like kiss him like a full
Oh my god,
day
he's
after
eating
any
the salad and he's ready to kiss.
No,
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, well we have to break
Ketchup,
up.
a known aphrodisiac. Don't question it.
Don't fact check.
Don't
that
fact
one.
check that one. Janie, do you have any questions about this 10 out of 10 man? Or woman? That was very assuming.
Okay, so I feel like that's not going to come up in conversation too often.
Yeah, like I don't think
But,
that
like,
was
what-
very difficult.
But what if you go out to dinner with like your friends?
Here's the thing is that, like, I'm
It's-
a very picky eater.
Right,
and-
yeah.
So you already
So-
put ketchup on your salad.
Yeah, so I already order ketchup as a beverage. And
Wait, do you get ketchup or diet ketchup? Because that's a
Well,
big debate.
it depends. Sometimes I
What if they're like, oh, sorry, we only have Heinz?
Diet ketchup tastes a lot different. than
Is
regular
Target
ketchup.
brand okay?
Is Target brand okay? No, it's not. But
Definitive answer.
yeah, so I mean, if I'm gonna order it as a beverage, then I guess he can put it on his salad.
But wouldn't that feel weird to you to like dump a beverage on a salad?
Yeah, it's like pouring
Coke.
Gatorade.
How does he like those glass bottles of ketchup that are really
Yeah.
frustrating?
Probably.
too?
If he,
Like,
Well, if he's a connoisseur, which I'm assuming
he's gonna go straight to glass.
He's gonna go straight to the glass. So when they bring out like a little bottle, like a ketchup squeeze bottle, he's gonna be like,
How does he feel about the ones that you can either
Wait, how does
like?
it feel about colored ketchup?
ooh.
Oh.
Wait, that exists?
It did.
Did you not exist in the 90s, Janie?
A little bit.
Just a little. Well, yeah, that's actually the answer for all of us.
It's like only
yeah,
a little
I
bit.
was definitely like,
No, there used to be.
2 years.
It was actually more early thousands. Was there used to have green and blue ketchup
purple.
and
That's
purple
messed
ketchup?
up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, a lot of
See, that grosses
your
me out
sense
even
of
more. I
taste, is,
can't.
like, your smell and, like, even your,
Your look,
sight. It's
yeah.
probably, like, green.
Your look,
on
how
St.
you look
Patrick's
when you
Day.
eat
Yeah.
affects your taste.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why it didn't continue
I
as
think
a
I could-
product.
Yeah.
I could respect like if he was putting like blue ketchup on the salad.
Cause that'd be more fun.
That'd be more fun.
See,
yeah,
like-
I don't know. Like
That's
suddenly no one
quirky.
knows it's ketchup. It's like, oh, here's
It's
Like he's putting this mysterious blue sludge on
See,
the
like,
salad.
it's also because like my salad preference is always like oil and vinegar or
No, keep going.
or like balsamic or like Italian. Like I don't like the creamy salad
I like
dressings to begin
ranch.
with.
I'm always a ranch. I once ordered a Caesar salad and I was like, can I get ranch dressing? And then I realized like the point of Caesar salad is
Is
that
the
it's Caesar
dressing.
No,
dressing.
I always order Caesar salads with Italian dressing
No, I'm a
or
big
balsamic.
big
Good.
fan of Caesar. I'm a big fan of Caesar.
Julius
It's-
Caesar.
Yeah, Julius Caesar. E2 Brute. Right in the heart.
Brute.
Yeah.
Why
rest in peace.
Brute?
Right. Rest in peace, JC.
Wherefore out there, Brute.
He's the real JC, the OG JC.
Yep.
Not Jesus Christ.
Julius Caesar.
Julius
Jimmy
Caesar.
Carter?
Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter.
It goes my favorite JCs. Julius Caesar, Jimmy Carter, and the man, Jesus Christ. That's the list. Definitive list. Hashtag JC and tweet us your list of top 3 JCs at the Sundial OSU. But Caesar salad, like
AKA
Caesar,
just Jackie.
just Jackie.
Just
yeah, it's
Jackie,
really
it's
always
just
just Jackie.
Jackie.
Occasionally Harish.
Maybe Ivy.
Maybe Ivy.
That's it. That's the only people who listen to this.
But
Hey guys.
yeah, now that we've alienated Roger for shaming
Sorry,
him
Roger.
about his library book.
Yeah.
And like never tweeting at us.
Yeah, never tweeting us.
I
But
can still see him, though.
yeah, we can still see you.
Yeah.
He's just someone in the first podcast we mentioned, hey Roger, you're listening to this, and then that was just it's every
I would have
podcast.
been really touched if like he
Yeah.
actually kind of existed.
Well,
Well-
we did get an email from a Roger, but we're almost positive it's Colin Gossel.
Yeah,
Colin, we're on to you.
Yeah, this is the meta part of the podcast where we're not talking about the character Roger who hasn't returned his library
We're just
books.
talking about Colin.
Yeah, we're aware that he's a character. We're out for you, Colin. We're also aware you haven't turned in your library book from 3rd grade. We're watching you.
Anyways, back to the 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Any other questions about
I
this?
like how we're deviating from the deviation.
Yeah.
Any other questions about this man who he insists it'll ruin his night when they don't have ketchup as an
I say yes. Easy
So
yes.
like if they give him a hard time, he's gonna be upset for the rest of the dinner.
He's just
Okay, I
gonna be
have one
livid.
last question because I'm obviously used to dating this guy now or whatever.
Mm.
I'm bringing my own ketchup now. You know, it's against his policy to bring it, but I'm like, sweetie, I you know.
But then
here's
he'll
the
be
ketchup.
like, but no, they should have ketchup as a salad
How
dressing.
many different restaurants are we going to that we don't know their
He is
ketchup
a-
policy prior?
He's a foodie.
He wants to go to all the different
He wants
And
to
restaurants.
go
get
to
the salad?
And get the salad at every.
Well,
Well,
okay,
it's a
yeah,
good starter.
that's a question. Does he always have
That's
to
what I'm
get
saying.
salad?
How many times is he getting salad at a
It's a
restaurant
good.
we don't go
It's
to?
a good starter
Is it
for
maybe
a
like
meal.
half? half. Because how many times does he get soup?
Ooh, but he also wants to put ketchup in the soup.
You know what?
I don't
I'd still be okay with.
He always gets clam chowder.
I'd still be more okay with putting the ketchup in the soup because it's almost more like a nice tomato bisque.
I'd say yes. I think I could work around that.
Yeah.
He's just gonna be livid though. You're gonna have to deal with him being livid about ketchup not being a standard.
That's why
dressing.
we go to the same restaurant. You know what I mean? Eventually, like,
He's never
the
gonna
initial
learn.
love spark will die. We're not going to want to go to new restaurants. We're going to go to one of, like, the same ones we always go to. It's, like, Fridays or, like, you know, Chili's.
Mhm. Yeah, you guys are gonna get to a lot of Fridays. As a foodie,
Applebee's.
He loves the salad at Fridays. Actually, I do want a corporate sponsorship, so Fridays does have a great salad.
They have a good menu overall.
A good overall menu.
Fun thing. We had a Fridays in my hometown because, you know, it's every hometown has a Fridays.
Every place has a Friday as a day.
As a day. But my parents really liked the glasses that they had there, and like the waiter was just like, take them. So they took them, and so then like literally like my brother kept making fun of them for it, like you can't steal, and then like literally a month later it closed down. So my brother keeps being like, you made them go bankrupt by stealing these 2 glasses.
Why did she like them?
Like,
they were
did
weird.
they say Fridays on them?
No, they were just like
sometimes
glasses.
it's like those cool.
Well, then they could be like have like fun parent time. Like we're drinking out of Fridays cups on a Wednesday.
But also, like my dad collects wine and my mom collects like wine glasses. So any kind of like weird different glass they just want.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they have
They have a lot of bongs.
They have a lot of bongs. They're like those kind of adults that have like different glasses for the different kinds of beverages, like whiskey glasses, like Stella glasses, like. So that's who
eyeglasses.
Different red and because like you're supposed to drink wine like red and white wine out of different glasses, and they have like a million of each because champagne, margarita, like
champagne.
I was drinking
martinis.
Ziploc bag.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we noticed that along with your beakers, you just had a full gallon Ziploc bag.
Yeah,
of wine.
and it's hard because once I don't open it with the Ziploc part, I like to cut the corner.
You cut.
And then you really can't stop.
You can't
It's
stop.
over.
But you done a pretty good job. You're just holding the bag upside down.
You brought your own bagged wine?
Right.
Yeah,
I'd like
yeah.
to clarify that I'm very drunk.
Yeah,
right now.
very drunk. That is why you're only in a lab coat.
Yes.
There are red wine stains all over
How
that
much
lab
did you
coat.
put in a bag?
Great.
Did you snip it and pour it in a cup, or are you just finishing the bag?
No, just straight from the bag.
So like your own.
There's
like,
no reason to waste a cup.
The funny thing,
If it's already in a bag.
Yeah, the
why
funny
would
thing
you
is
put
that
in a
it
cup?
was you got a box wine with a bag and you poured it into the other bag.
Right. The first bag isn't as quality as I would like it to be.
It's like how some people don't like the taste
I
of a
almost said the
plastic
first
bottle and
bag
they
is
like a
the
glass
deepest.
bottle over. Like in
That's
ketchup.
a big difference.
Like when,
back to ketchup.
When Janie's drinking her bottle of ketchup as a beverage, she doesn't like the plastic. It adds a taste to it. You gotta get that glass
I
bottle.
like plastic forks with Chipotle instead of like going home with a metal one.
Honestly, yeah. I went to
It's a
BB
lot
Bob
difference.
like the other day, and then I forgot to
Shout out to Elijah.
Shout out to Elijah.
He's there right now.
Yeah, he's always there. And I like went home and I forgot a plastic fork, and I was like, I gotta eat this with a metal fork, and it's not gonna be the same.
This is
not
whack,
gonna be the
man.
It's gonna be super whack. All right, the floor is closed for 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I think I know everybody's answer already. It wasn't
I
super
said
divisive.
yes.
You shouldn't lock in your question early. It's a bad idea because it could totally change. He could also be like, "Oh, he likes ketchup because it reminds him of drinking blood," but that's off the table.
Now
It's
not
off the table.
It's off the table.
See, like, as long as I don't have to kiss him anytime after he eats all that ketchup, I'd be
I
okay.
thought of a thing now that I should have thought of before. Sometimes he's going to want to share a salad.
No.
No.
That's so stupid.
Who shares salad? Oh no! Like, if we
Like
go
at
Wait a
Olive
minute, wait,
Garden.
the Olive
if we go to
and the
Olive
salad,
Garden,
he
he's
just
gonna put ketchup on it. On mine too.
He's gonna put ketchup on it. He's gonna put ketchup in that big bowl of salad.
I'm out.
And you have to
I'm
finish
out. You
the bowl
cannot.
before
You
you get
cannot mess with my Olive Garden salad.
As a proud Italian
As
American.
a proud
Yeah.
Italian.
Because when you're there,
Olive-
you're family.
When you're there, yeah. No,
So they'll give
as
you
a,
the ketchup
okay,
bottle.
as an Italian,
Ketchup.
Olive Garden is not authentic Italian, obviously. Everyone knows.
Wait.
But
Hold a minute.
but their salad and their soup and their breadsticks are great.
Super tasty. Their
super
food in
tasty.
general is pretty tasty.
I feel like that's me. I always like to end
Okay.
up doing that.
I thought someone knocked, and I literally wrote a sign that says "Don't knock." I was just gonna be super mad at whoever it was.
I hope the sign says like, "Don't knock. This is important." Then they hear us being like,
Like,
"If
so-
you put ketchup on the salad."
Don't knock it unless you
It's
try.
really
Don't knock it unless you try it.
All right.
But if you can't go to any place that has a family style serving of salad because, and that's
And there are so many places. Olive Garden,
there's
Buca
other
di Beppo,
there's other places.
other Italian places.
Honestly, yeah, it's just Italian places.
And that is very important to you.
Yeah, because there's a place in my friend actually works there that they do family style,
Mm-hmm.
and it's local.
Mm-hmm. It's a very important thing. A family style salad. Oof.
I think I would at least date this person for a
At
while.
least 8. All right.
I don't know if I want to go full. I would have to test it out.
Mhm.
You know.
I think
Test the waters.
I think I could change him.
Oh, I don't know, Mary.
Like maybe get him to just put a lot of tomatoes in it.
Or maybe try mustard.
Well, I'm just saying.
Because
Like,
because you can transition into
worse,
honey
it's
mustard,
worse.
which is a legitimate dressing.
Okay,
well, I'm
yeah.
just saying, like, I'm bringing
That's true.
ketchup on the side to meet at restaurants so that it doesn't ruin the whole meal because.
Ugh.
Or
I just-
I'd ask prior before we even were seated at the table, can he get ketchup for a salad?
Like,
Be like,
whisper
here,
to it.
Be like, here's the
Yeah.
ketchup. Just give it to him.
When he asks
Yeah,
for
like, I
dressing,
brought
just
this.
immediately say, "Well, we have ketchup." He will be so happy. You'll get a great tip
Yeah, like
because he'd be like,
Yeah.
"Finally, a restaurant with ketchup as a dressing option."
$5 extra.
yeah.
He's a high roller.
What do you think like the ceiling is for what if you call a restaurant and make a reservation and like make requests like that? What do you
Ooh,
think?
what's the ceiling for
Yeah.
those requests?
I once asked a waiter if I could get ice cubes on the side. For a
Janie,
drink.
why?
Like jokingly, and then he was like, "Really?" I was like, "No, ha." But I was always wondering, like, would you have done that?
Well, there's like. Okay,
I feel
this
there's some very weird people that like probably would want that.
There's a person when I used to work at 12th Ave that got a bagel, not a pizza bagel. Pizza bagels are delicious,
Love-
and I don't shame anybody for
only
eating those.
$3.
Yes, they're the best deal at 12th Ave.
I
But
didn't know they even had that.
they had them when we both moved out. But because we used to live together, that's canon now.
When we both moved out of our dorm.
Yeah, together. We had a line down our apartment because we just couldn't stop
just-
fighting. But somebody came in and got a blueberry bagel and got it toast. He would get it toasted, and then he would ask us to put turkey and mayonnaise on it.
Ew.
Oh
and
my god.
just that. And then, no, the bagel wasn't even toasted. He asked us to just heat up just the turkey and then put it on and then put mayonnaise on it and then give it to him. And the first time I saw the order, I'm like, no. And then I gave it to him. I'm like, here you go. He's like, thank you. And he just got it and left. And then he came back the next day, my next shift. And I was like,
I
wow.
get self-conscious about ordering like a
something
like a
too intense.
frozen drink when it's like 60 degrees out.
Yeah.
Like they hate me. This is too weird.
No. Trust me.
Oh my
There
god.
you get so many weird requests. And
I thought I was being weird for ordering a
Oh.
Caesar salad with Italian dressing.
no.
This whole time, this
This whole
guy's
time.
been out there doing terrorizing
terrorizing local restaurants, ordering
bagel places.
the weirdest things possible.
I used to work in a bakery, and there was a lady who would come in every Wednesday and order 6 marble cakes.
Wowzers.
How does she
That's
do that
both
many cakes?
crazy and tragic.
Yeah. I always wonder, like, I wanted to ask, like, what are you doing with these? But I feel like that's
That's too far.
Basic.
As a baker,
yeah.
you gotta know where you are. That you can't ask. All bakers take an oath, the baker's oath.
Yeah.
And there's 2 parts of it. 1, never ask where the product is going. You can't care. And 2, always add an extra thing to that dozen.
Right.
Always add an extra thing that doesn't. They're signed to that baker's.
There's the one time we went and got Travis Felicki, our PR chair,
Mm-hmm.
a birthday cake, and it was just like a Sam's Club or whatever, and there was a cake that had a bunch of ducks on it, and we were like, "Can you write go duck yourself?" and the girl like stared at us for a couple of seconds, and we were like, "Please," and then she was like, "Yeah, they did it," and it just says go duck yourself. The
That's
best.
awesome.
It's on my Instagram
Shoutouts.
at Lauren_MOL. You can go find that picture for Travis's birthday.
Kind of like stupid requests along with birthdays is like a couple years ago, like me, my sister, and cousin were like prank calling like really stupid stores. So we called Pottery Barn, like the furniture store.
Such a dumb store.
And we were like my cousin was like on the phone and she's like, hi, we would like to set up a child's birthday party here. And they were like, what? Like they're like, yeah, like just like we want to host a birthday party here for like my kid or whatever. They're like, let me talk to my manager. Like we don't really do birthday parties here, and so like we're on hold for a little bit. She comes back, she's like, okay, so what date for the birthday party?
Oh my god.
And then that's when we like all right, this is going on too long. So then she was like, okay, cool, like what kind of pottery are we gonna make? And then she's like, oh, we're not a pottery store, we're furniture. But like, what would they have done for this child birthday party?
You should have. We gotta do it.
Oh my
There
god.
was like one time I had like a surprise birthday party when I was like 12 or 13 or
At
whatever.
a Pottery Barn.
But like we didn't really have anything to do, and like my mom needed to go to the store, so we just went to like Giant Eagle and Target, and we got kicked out of Staples. Like we went in there and we were legitimately going in. My mom was gonna buy me like a new desk chair for my birthday.
Ooh.
I love
We all remember our 12th birthday. We all
I think
got
it was like
our own
13 or
desk chair.
14. Like we weren't too.
We
I
all
wasn't-
known our
We weren't
13th
like
or 14th
like we were
birthday.
like not like super young,
Mhm.
but they watched like a group of like 13-year-old girls walk into the stables, and he was like, if you're not gonna purchase anything, then get out. And my mom was like, we were, but now we're leaving, and then we just walked out. And the chairs were like over $100. Like I missed out.
So, like if you're with a mom, you're like,
Yeah, we were
here's
with
my
my
bank
mom.
account, like.
And there's only like
We all carry our bank
Yeah.
accounts.
here's my bank statement.
Yeah.
But anyways, we didn't finish answering the 10 out of 10. I answered.
You
You said
answered.
no.
I said I would at least date them. I need to test
She'd
it.
give 'em a
Test the waters.
I'd go on a few days.
And then Mary
Well, I
was
wouldn't marry
yes.
anyone
Hard
immediately.
yes.
Yeah,
Hard
exactly.
yes. That is actually Mary's perfect man.
Yeah.
That's not a caveat.
No.
Sure.
Sure.
That's workable.
That's
Yeah.
workable. It's I
The
did
love
too
of your
soft
life.
on that.
Yeah.
If you now that we've had a pretty soft one, if you have a 10 out of 10, you can
Yeah.
actually send it. That's like a legitimate thing you can send to the
You can-
Sundial for the podcast.
You can tweet it at us. You can message us on Facebook. You can email at us.
Yes. Use if you're going to use Twitter to send it, use hashtag 10. Hashtag
Yeah,
10.
just #1010
Spelled it out.
Okay.
Spelled it out.
TEN
Hashtag TEN.
or 10.
Hashtag
Because you can't hashtag a
Tiananmen
zero.
Square.
You can't hashtag a number, not
No.
just zero. Only zero you can hashtag
You
it.
can. Interesting fun
But
fact.
you can't do a zero.
Well, you can't hashtag any numbers.
I thought you could do like hashtag like.
Is that true? Oh, no, it's
this is an event
it's-
2016.
It's so that way.
wait, no, it's
You
not
can do
numbers.
years.
It's punctuation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I'm gonna say because you can
Sorry,
hashtag
everyone.
420
Yeah.
Then what was I doing?
on 420.
Yeah.
I just like Lauren's 420 is her trying to do a joke about her not smoking and trying to do hashtag 420. He's like, you can't do hashtags on numbers.
I can't. I don't know why I thought you couldn't do that. I think it was just like punctuation. I was like, well, it's anything but letters.
Anything but special case.
10 out of 10 but letters.
10 out of 10 but letters.
They
But
are.
letters.
What was your answer?
Yeah.
Would you date that man?
Or woman.
Or women, not presuming.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I would. I'm a big believer in do what we want with foods.
Yeah.
Do what we want with foods.
No foods.
Do Ohio foods.
Do-
It was
I
fun, but then
Ohio
you mentioned he
foods.
likes sharing them. So
Yeah.
it's
See, that's like-
part
it
where
was
it's
like-
he's pushing his agenda on.
And
me,
who
like,
knows? Ketchup on the salad might actually be good.
See, I can't, though.
I might.
Not for me.
I'm not going to go home and try it. But
Yeah, he
if
is.
it was offered to me, yeah, I'd try it.
My aunt puts Doritos in salads.
My mom makes a
not too
Dorito
bad.
salad.
But then if you think of it kind of like...
It's like croutons. Or like the little tortilla
Or it's
strips.
like Taco Bell's like Doritos tacos where it's like they got the lettuce
See, I
in
can't
there.
get over fries on salad. That's gross to me.
Is that a thing?
That's a thing.
That sounds disgusting.
Is it homemade or is that a restaurant?
No, that's a
serving that?
restaurant. Maybe it's just a Youngstown.
That might be just a Youngstown.
But it,
That
no,
might
I
be
think
why
I've seen-
Youngstown is depressed as a city.
No,
If you're
it's-
having fries on a salad.
It was ever since the steel meal shut down. We just need to put fries on our salad.
and then it went
No, it's
downhill
like-
from there.
I swear I've seen it. Maybe every time I go to a restaurant now, I'm gonna check.
Look.
No matter where I am. But no, it's like steak and fries. or something like that on a salad, and it grosses me out. I can't do it.
Why? That makes no sense.
Exactly.
I know,
Okay,
It's like
so
you're just
what-
combining the whole meal.
I know
Yeah.
It's
Pittsburgh,
disgusting.
their big thing is a lot of sandwich places in Pittsburgh
Permane Brothers.
put fries
On
in
the-
a sandwich.
Yeah, it's Permane Brothers,
Yeah.
and it's
that doesn't seem
delicious
weird.
as
It is
hell.
so great.
we
I put
actually got one in our hometown now.
I put fries on sandwiches and hamburgers because they're included in sandwiches.
Ooh.
Well, that's almost like, you know, when you're eating your hamburger and then you're just like, I don't need to swallow this yet. I'm already going to shove fries in my mouth. Like,
Yeah, because normally, you know, some people, they take a bite and then a bite of fries.
Yeah, that's what I'm
at the same
saying,
time.
like,
Like,
It's
it's put them on the same
It's
thing.
efficiency.
Um,
That's all I'm going for is efficiency when I eat.
so no fries on salad.
No fries on salad.
I can't.
Gross.
'Cause, like,
Official word.
Especially since a lot of my salad dressings are oil based,
Mm-hmm.
as I already said.
As you
It's this
indicated,
big
as you
salad discussion.
foreshadowed earlier.
I
in the
foreshadowed it just to talk about fries on salad.
We
All right.
knew we would. That was actually one of the written down topics.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fries
I
on
needed to
salad.
get fries on salad. I already talked about onions on salad.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta get to fries on salad. I think we should start wrapping up at this point.
I
Or
was.
no?
I was.
how do you wrap
Half-
this up?
Half-heartedly went into a beatbox, and I immediately quit. I was like,
Failed.
"All right, I'm out of this. I know it's not going to be good."
Yeah, I wonder if you could even have heard that on the podcast.
If you're very focused on it, it's just like
It
a
almost
very
got-
small
was it?
sigh, just like,
Oh.
it was like,
yeah, just
it
whatever.
was almost like we, no.
Nice. Anyways,
No, I was gonna say like, you know, like when someone runs away real fast, like,
yeah. You know what we should do for the wrap up for this time? Let's do one-word stories. We're all going to make a story by
Oh,
saying
like
one word and go around. We're going to make
How
a
long
fun
is the story
story.
until it's just basically done?
Yeah,
Well,
until
one
we-
of us will cut it off. Janie has curled up into a ball. She is a perfect sphere right now
In her lab coat.
in her lab coat.
Yeah.
So here we go. Once
There.
Was.
a
magical
Reindeer.
Who?
had
a
Very.
Long.
torso
he
New.
How?
to
really
Get.
Things.
going.
every
Time.
He.
Peed.
on
Is.
Kids.
They
jumped
Into.
Happiness.
because
they
Liked.
When.
he.
peed.
On.
Them.
All right.
Oh.
Good job. All right, so that's the podcast. Do you guys have
Do
anything
you guys have
that
any?
you want
you guys
to
have any
plug?
plugs?
Your Twitter,
Oh.
anything like
Oh,
that?
I don't want to promote myself.
Mary,
Mary
I
Lavelle
will-
620.
I was gonna say Mary's Twitter is pretty good.
Pretty lit.
Yeah.
It's pretty fantastic.
I'd like to promote Mary's Twitter.
Yeah, let's all just. All right, this is the only plug.
The only plug Mary's Twitter.
Mary's Twitter.
I would separately like to plug stale popcorn. I know people really enjoy a nice hot pop, but
Crunchy popcorn.
a nice crunchy popcorn, some nice popped corn, but
Popped.
popped corn,
It's popping.
but pop tonight. Get your micro. I know we all have a nice bag of microwavable popcorn.
I actually don't. I prefer.
Go out to
make
Kroger
it
or
myself.
Giant Eagle.
I pop it
Get
myself.
get a microwave popper, pop it,
It's
and
not-
don't eat it. Do not eat it. Wait until either the next morning or the next day. Just give it some time. Open up the bag and have yourself a nice bag of stale popcorn. It's pretty tasty.
I
Cool.
disagree.
I think I'll eat stale popcorn when I'm hungry. Like, if it's
Yeah,
there, I'll eat it.
I'll still eat it, but it's not my preferred.
And I'm
It's-
not going to
eating
wait for
popcorn.
stale popcorn.
It's-
I don't
no,
wait
no, no,
for
no.
stale popcorn.
I don't personally wait for it, but if you've never actually tried it as like a bunch of it instead of just like one or two pieces, a few kernels of popped stale corn.
Popped. But like kettle corn, like you can buy the big bags, like that
Mhm.
takes like weeks.
Yeah, I'm not a big kettle corn person. Let's
I
not
love
get into this
kettle
discussion. Stale popcorn, that's my plug.
Janie, do you have? Ooh, I just hit.
What am
sorry,
I gonna
guys.
plug?
Yeah.
I would
Ooh, I
like
have
to
another
plug my circus show.
Nice.
It's called Cirque de Janie.
Ooh, guys, podcast over.
It's like Cirque du Soleil, but lower budget and fewer restrictions.
A lot of lab coats.
It's a lot of lab coats, a lot of people drinking from wine bags.
It's great.
But
Homemade wine
also
bags.
doing circus tricks.
Mhm.
We'll be performing in the amphitheater directly after this. It's 4:30. Well, now it's about 5:30 a.m.
It's about 5:30 a.m.
Yeah.
So
You can tell we've all woken up.
yeah, we usually start as soon as the sun rises ceremoniously. Also, we need to do another. We start each show with a small sacrifice of an animal.
A small sacrifice, though. It's not a big deal. It's just a small sacrifice.
Yeah, it's just
Like an
kind of
animal
like
will be
a
killed,
ritual.
but
Yeah.
not for a good reason.
Yeah.
Small one.
Not a lot of fanfare. Not a lot of fanfare.
No, it's just to get us into the right mindset.
Gotta get in that headspace as a circus performer.
Yeah, so as soon as this is over, please head down to the amphitheater. Tickets are $29.50.
Nice. That's the average price of a ticket.
Yeah.
Mary?
I'm just gonna leave off with the promotion of my dog's Instagram at Wilma Jean Wrinkles. Follow her. So.
Oh,
Nice.
so cute.
So cute.
So cute. Yeah, and that's it for today. My plug, as always, is the Sundial Humor Magazine, but also Backburner Sketch Comedy.
Nice.
And also Fresh Meat, a coming-of-age story. Find it on YouTube. But anyways, if you have any questions for us, you can email them at thesundialmagazine@gmail.com. Or if you have any questions that you don't want discussed on the podcast. I don't know. I don't judge.
I do.
Our Twitter is at @TheSundialOSU. You can tweet at us any of the hashtags. I don't even remember any of them.
Hashtag. One of them was Tiananmen Square.
Get edited out.
Yeah, it was hashtag I have not seen Tiananmen Square. Hashtag 10. Hashtag.
You said something
The
wrong.
top 3 JCs are.
Hashtag my top JC.
Oh, yeah.
Or top JC, or just, I don't remember what the exact hashtag was.
But
Whatever.
you guys can figure it out.
Whatever. You know what? Go back and listen
Whichever
to
one Jackie tweets at.
Whatever one Jackie, that'll be the ones that we know. At the Sundial OSU on Twitter. Follow us, hit us up. Like us on Facebook, and if you want to read any more content, you can find that at the Sundial. Nope, not the sundial.osu.edu. And that's it. Thanks for listening. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks so much.
Are you gonna get down from there? You're up in the
Yeah, you're up in that
high
chair.
The high chair.
With all your beakers in your lab coat.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd kind of like to stay, but I mean, if someone needs this room, then whatever. This room, then whatever. This room, then whatever. This room, then